Yo, what's poppin', guys? You got your boy Andre here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, gonna be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually gonna be using a deck that I did not make, and then show you guys some gameplay featuring that. So the list I have for you today is actually something special. This is actually the list that the current rank 1 on ladder. You know, like the cream of the crop. You know, the fucking like creme de la creme. What he's using on for rotation right now. Now, he hasn't posted the list like officially, so not many people actually have this list. I only have this list because, you know, I was out here, you know, doing some detective work, aka like low-key like stalking this dude on his open rec channel. Anyway, moving aside, I'll go ahead and quickly show you guys the list, and I'm working on this view. I'll then actually talk about what the list does and how I myself play it and how have seen him play it, and then also show you guys some games. So again, as you can see from the deck title, rank 1. So this is the list he's using. If you can't already tell, it's like an aggro mid-range forest. Or like, sorry, it's like aggro forest, but instead of like Aperia, you use like Green Glen Axemen. You also don't use Beetle Warriors as well. So this one kind of aims for like a more like grindy playstyle. Now I know obviously like when I use this on stream, like I had some people ask me like, okay, why no Aperia, or like or don't you think Aperia is better? Green Glen and Aperia have like different trade-offs. Like Aperia is more damage up front, Green Glen is more damage over time, but the main trade-off is that like by playing Green Glen Axemen, which if you don't know what that is, here it is. It's the legendary from the mini expansion. Yeah, by playing Green Glen, you get damage over time, and you also get to win grandier battles. I've had games in which I've had like maybe like 3 to 4 Green Glen. Wow. God, it's so hard to say this card. Like, it's such a tongue twister. Anyway, three or four Axemen stacks. Yeah, there we go, Axemen. Yeah. Anyway, 3 or 4 Axemen stacks, and proc them like maybe like every other turn or something like that. You know, that damage adds up. Like, because you gotta remember, like, there's still things like Elf Song. There's still things like say Fairy Drive or whatever. I've had games in which I hit my opponent for like, I don't know, like at least like 12, 15 damage or whatever, like from like one turn. Although obviously like those are like best case scenarios, but more I guess average situations are like where you go like maybe say two Axemen stacks, or even just 1 Axemen stack, right? And then go Fairy Driver, Fairy, right? So 3 fairies plus Axemen is 8 damage, right? 8 damage without using evos and ignoring anything else that happened previously in the game. Just, you know, like simple, you know, 2-step combos, and that's kind of cool. Just because a lot of times most people won't expect it, and also this helps you beat out your common enemy, which is, you know, well, wards. It doesn't beat raw healing all the time, but then again, there's not much healing in rotation, so that's kind of fine. Other interesting things about the deck right up is that's playing 3 copies of Ariana. So not everyone plays 3 copies of Ariana. I've seen people play 1. I've seen people play 2, which I think is a little bit more common. But this one plays 3. Ariana is really strong. Now, if you've played this game since ROB, you may remember Piercing Rune. Well, Ariana is essentially a Piercing Rune for Forest, except you actually do have to like work towards it, but it's still fine because like it's not hard to have like 3 creatures, or at least have like at least 2 creatures, then play this card for your 3rd creature, then again the 1 cost. Like most times, you usually tend to use this on 6, but this helps you beat out wards because it's a removal spell that also does damage as well if you've played 2 or more cards previously to that. So. But remember, when you play the Ariana itself, that's 1. Then the Ivy Spellbomb, when you play it, that'd be a 2nd one. So you just need to play 1 other card prior to that, and oh, well, look at that, your deck plays fairies. So most times, playing on 6 is usually pretty favorable, just because like you play the fairy, that's 1, Ariana 2, a Spellbomb 3. Most times though, you want to make sure that when you do in fact play Ariana, that you are in fact making the Spellbomb, that you're in fact changing the Spellbomb's cost to 1 if you're able to, just because having that for 1 is a lot different than having that for 3. Because remember, Ivy Spellbomb at one point, well, the original Ivy Spellbomb, the one that's like just, you know, just a spell, that one costs 3, that one sucks dick. But this one's more, this one's like a lot better, just because this one mana is flexible, 3 mana is kind of clunky. The other thing is 3 Elf Songs, and then also 1 copy of Aria Guiding Fairy. Now the Aria Guiding Fairy, you don't need to play it. You really don't. It's just that like the deck is like 13 3-ofs. Yeah, literally, yeah, like 13 3-ofs, and then just like, you know, one sort of filler card. Now the the Aria, it does come into play sometimes. Like for example, with the Wisp that you get, it lets you do some interesting combos. Like say for example, setting up for Elf Songs, also setting up for Arianas, most times when I use this, I also, again, this is also like a 6 turn, this is also like a turn 6 play for me, is I usually go Aria, play the Wisp, that triggers my Elf Song, so I can play all 3 of those cards on curve, for the exact amount of mana, and then just, you know, get a lot of free buffs and things like that. The deck is a lot of fun to play. The deck is also pretty grindy. Thankfully, because Force is really popular right now, there's a lot of games where your opponents will literally just scoop if you just if you just go ahead and just like hit them and just like hit them with some like young like Elf Songs or whatnot, which you're gonna see in some of these games. So I didn't have I lied. I have a lot of games that I could possibly show you guys. I didn't ultimately decide which ones I wanted to show, but I think I'll just go. I think we'll show some of the games versus like Haven and versus like Dragoncraft. Also some of the games versus the Mirror, but like obviously this will be like set up in like maybe like a 2-part sort of video thing because I've been talking for a while. So I'll just go and quickly show one such Havencraft game or like where your opponents just like get like bodied by this. Simply because at the moment, Forest is kind of a Ronald McDonald sort of thing in that like they play about 26 of the same cards, so you're not gonna know which Forest Craft you are until they play very, very like defining cards, which we'll talk about in a video maybe tomorrow or something like that. But yeah. So first game, versus Haven, right? Versus Haven. So versus Haven, most times it's Tinkershrine. Versus Tinkershrine, the game can go back and forth. But versus Tinkershrine in particular, like Leafman is what carries. Like, well, Leafman plus having a board is what carries you over the finish line. Like, just because like they can't blow it up. Most times they need scriptures, but they'll get baited into using their scriptures early. So as long as they don't have a board on the turn where you Leafman, you're good to go. Anyway. So the hand I had, it was pretty decent. I picked up the 1-drop. I'm like, yes. So the deck doesn't play goblins. It just plays water fairies. Now the water fairies are actually really, really important. Not because they're a 1-drop, but because they let you do a lot of very, very interesting things. So just say activating your Elf Song. The Elf Song activation thing is really, really important. Just because you can go so you can go Airbound on your 1-drop to then replay your 1-drop to then play Elf Song. Usually when things like that happen, you're winning the game. So here he just makes a trade, and then plays Jean. So this was a good sign from him. I like this play a lot just because like versus Aggro, how Aggro beats you as Haven is that like while you're setting up amulets and whatnot, right? I'm getting out onto the board, you know. Like I'm going ahead, you know, I'm making an army of little fairies and whatnot. Like and then like by the time you realize that, oh well, you know, maybe I should have, you know, been like playing to the board. Then you just get bodied and things like that because, you know, I got the Leaf Man, I got the Elf Songs, you know, I got things like that. So I expected this game to be a little bit difficult. I go ahead and I play up Brambles here. I play up Brambles because he already gave me a target. He gave me a target that no matter what will be in play next turn. So I can go ahead and airbound that and get some more fairies because I want to go ahead and I want to like get these resources now as opposed to later. So I played another fairy and I go ahead and I go face for 1. Because I guarantee you, if I didn't play out this Brambles, he was gonna feel like trading. But now, he's conditioned himself to, oh well, I don't want to trade anymore, right? My opponent played Brambles. I don't want to trade anymore, right? And but that's not good. You should still be trading. Anyway, so we go ahead and he plays up the Snow White. I'm like, okay. So Snow White is single-handedly like one of the things you need to carry you as Haven versus Forest Craft, specifically versus Brambles Craft. Anyway, so here, when I top deck the Elf, I'm like, okay, alright, enough, we're going in. Because he went face, right? He went face. That was a mistake. He could have cleared my entire board, and then had a 2-1 at the end. Well, yeah, he could have cleared my entire board and had a 2-1 at the end, and that would have been okay. And as well as also a new Snow White, but he didn't do it, so we're gonna go ahead and punish him. Yeah, so here I'm just gonna play Fairy. I then go ahead and drop the Young Elf Song. I evolve my Water Fairy. I make the evolve in the Water Fairy because now he has to go out of his way to banish it. That's always good. And I just go ahead and smack him in the face for 6. Yeah. So, nice race, buddy. He hit me in the face for 3 last turn, right? I hit him in the face for 6. So, oh, and I also have more creatures in play than him as well, right? And a Brambles. Just you know, just saying. And now the creature that would have gotten a free trade last time has to suicide this time if he wishes to trade it, and most times most people aren't going to want to do that. So it's just like, oh, you know, yeah, he realizes he fucked up and he's just like, GG man. Yeah. So this is like one such case where like, you just get to like snowball out of control and just, you know, do a lot of like gross things to your opponent and just like make them feel bad, right? Alright. So another game. We'll go with this game. So the other nice thing about this deck is that this deck it doesn't have like that many bad matchups. I think like the worst matchup is probably versus Dragon, honestly. It's versus Dragon. It's versus Bramble's Craft. Sorry. It's versus Dragon because of Force of Newt. The Mirror because if they draw better cards, and you're just gonna be like sad, right? And then lastly, sometimes Tinker Shrine, just because like Tinker Shrine does have a lot of healing. Anyway, so I go ahead and toss back most of this. I keep the 2-drop just I don't know. I like knowing that I have my 2-drop on 2, right? Especially because I'm going first. So I pick up Brambles, a Water Fairy. I'm like, okay, yeah. So obviously a quick secret to being successful is like have your Water Fairy on 1, right? So I go ahead and play up the Leaf Man. Now I could have played the Brambles, but I like getting the creature into play. So this way he's discouraged from banishing my 1/1. He'll banish my 2/2 instead, right? But here he plays up Snow White. I'm like, okay, again, same thing as last game. Like Snow White is really annoying, but you can deal with it, right? So when you can deal with it, just, you know, deal with it. So I go ahead and I trade here. The reason why I'm making these trades is because like the Snow White has the capacity to kill both my creatures if he gets allowed to make the trades. Whereas this way it can only clear one of them. And because I have another Water Fairy in my hand, I can go ahead and put him back in the same exact situation where it's like, okay, do you banish my Water Fairy to deny me from getting value, or do you banish my my Leaf Man to take less damage immediately? But here he plays Moray. I'm like, okay, sure. The Moray was correct. The playing of the Summit Temple, however, was not correct because now I know exactly what he is. Whereas before I had to be worried about, oh, is he Tinker Shrine? So this makes it a lot easier for me. So here I go ahead and play up my Starry Elf. Now I understood why he played up the Moray because he doesn't want to play into Airbound, but now he's giving me a lot of free information. I can do things to him. So I go ahead and I go face here. Again, the nice thing about this is that like while he was setting up amulets, I was making a board. I was creating an army. I was getting in some young face damage, right? So here he can go ahead and play Cudgel, and that'd be great. No Cudgel, he's in a bad spot, but he has Gemstone Carapace plus Snow White. So this is actually a really, really good line for him actually, because he gets a 3/5. He has to take out 2 of my creatures. He has to use up an Evil Point and another Snow White, but that's still fine because he got to heal for, sorry, not really heal, but he got to remove 4 power off the board. That's really powerful, right? Good times, good times. PogChamp, shout out to my opponent here. Yeah. So like I said though, the playing of the Summon Temple, I didn't actually like that because like you'll have plenty of time to play it, right? But anyway, so so yeah, so as you see here though, it would have been 4 damage removed, except he fucked up, and because he played the Summon Temple, and because I had Brambles live, and because I guess he just like didn't realize the interaction, he isn't able to actually remove my Starry Elf. So I still have a lot of power in play here, right? Oh, I also have a Leaf Man as the top deck. So this is you know, one of those turns where you're just getting a billion damage on your opponent. You just like make them like sad and, you know, salty and like sad about life, right? So good times, good times. I could go ahead and slam it down. I believe I ultimately do. Okay, no, I should just go for the Brambles because I'm really afraid of me getting smacked in the face by this 3/5. So I just gotta, you know, start making some trades. Yeah, I go ahead and play Rain. I go ahead and evolve the Rain. Make a trade. This way I get to keep a 4/4 Rain. I'm like, okay, sure. I also get some 3 damage in play. Now, I do roll a dice here. There's a 1 in 5 that a 1 in 4 that I lose the die roll ultimately, and then and I'm just like sad. There's also a 1 in 4 that I still win the die roll in the best possible way, and that it blows up the Water Fairy. So this way I just get the fairy automatically, and there's no, oh, well, what if it gets banished? Granted, I have a lot of fairies already, right? But that's still, yeah. And then like these 2 are just whatever. Like they're literally the same unit, honestly. So it's like, well, they're the same unit now because they've already been injured. So I go ahead and get my 3 damage, and I'm like, okay. So the Moray pops, and of course snipes the best unit. I'm like, okay, sure, that's fine. That's sad, but that's fine. He then plays another Moray again. This is not good because he's back in the same spot as last time because he's using these evolves, right? He's using these evolves. He's trying to like make these plays, but well, I still have the board. He has less evolves, mind you. he's not going to turn 7 yet. He's only going to turn 6. So unless he's playing Dark Sean, he's still in a really bad spot, right? Yeah, so he does get to clear my board and removes 4 power. I'm like, okay, sure. Just trying to find an Insect Lord. I'm like, yikes, that's awful. But I just go, play up my fairies. I'm like, okay, sure, that's fine. That's life, that happens. Now, in order to go ahead and play around, Dark Sean, I go ahead and just evolve the Water Fairy. If he has Cudgel, he has Cudgel. I can't care. I literally can't care, so. But here he plays like either the White Wing, that's fine, doesn't matter to me. Yep, he then evolves his Serenine Hinge, I'm like, okay, sure. He gets the draw. Honestly, well, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, like I like that he evolved, like, because it puts it in a relative range that makes you want to kill it, right? But unfortunately, this plays into my trap card. Because now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and play up my Fairy. Then I go ahead and play up my Leaf Man. Again, Leaf Man is really important for things like this. Like, Leaf Man rewards you for already having a board. Granted, your board isn't as sticky as, say, like a Catacombs board, but it's sticky in its own way. Like, it's sticky in the, well, I have so many fairies I can play from like Brambles bouncing and just Fairy Whispers and things like that. That at some point, some of these fairies are going to live at some point. And I'll just murder you with it, either with Elf Song or just Leaf Man, as we see here, because I essentially double the amount of damage I was going to be doing. I go from doing a rinky dink 3 damage to doing a, oh shit, this is a lot, 6 damage. So I go ahead and smack him for 6. Okay, then from here I actually go ahead and airbound my Leaf Man to bounce it back to then kill off his 1/3. Now the killing off of the 1/3 is actually very, very important. Now the reason why it's important is because yes, at the moment he can in fact prevent me from getting lethal with Donzai, aka Heavenly Knight. However, he hasn't really played in a way that kind of suggests that he might have it. Now granted, obviously he could in fact have it, and that'd be awful. But at least this way I go ahead and I have the ability to threaten lethal next turn. Because if he doesn't have a removal spell here, because again it has to be exactly summon. It has to be exactly Scripture or Heavenly Knight in order to prevent me from getting lethal here. Then he'll just be dead. Additionally, I think that he might forget that I have the Leaf Man in hand. So my 2/1 drops. I'm like, okay, sure, that's awful. And here, yep, true to name, just slams down the Jean. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I guess you just dead, son. Yep. And he realizes that immediately once I emote, and he's like, yep, all right, cool. Yeah, like it's just little things like that. Just like getting protection from AoE is a very, very strong thing that this deck can do. Just because it's very, very scary when they do it. What else do we have here? All right, I'll show you guys the Dragoncraft game because, like I said, like versus Dragoncraft is probably one of your hardest matchups, honestly. Yeah, just because like they heal and they have AoE at the same time, right? So, oh, also people are playing PDK, and PDK kind of like eats this deck up for breakfast. Alright, so I could have kept the Insect Lord and the Brambles. I ultimately just chose to keep the Brambles just because I wasn't sure what I was going to draw. Now, Axemen is both good and bad in this matchup. Axemen is good because it does present pressure, but it's also bad because, well, it's kind of a play that goes tall, and Dragon historically can usually beat tall things in the mid to late game, especially if they're injured, like they usually will be here. So when he played the Horde on one, I know a lot of people might be like, oh, well, he's PDK. Nope, he's actually Limworm. I only know this just because I know a lot of people play like Fast Limworm, which is like a Limworm deck that plays a lot of spells. It's not more or less like the cheapest spells possible. So this way they can have the Limworm guaranteed active. And we get the confirmation here because he plays Spawner Angels, then trades. I'm like, okay, sure. You would only make a play like that if you were again Fast Limworm. So Fast Limworm, they aim to beat you by having their Limworm active by turn 8, turn 7. And then just like smacking you with 2 Limworms because they usually try to draw. They can usually search out one of them and then they just hope that they draw the second one naturally, or with all the card draw that they have in the deck. So keeping that in mind, we need to go really fast. We'll make even less trades here than we would normally, and try to get a win that way. Because right now he's already at 4 Limworm. He's already at 4 Limworm activations. That's scary. So I go ahead and play Water Fairy here. I'm playing the Water Fairy because this lets me go wide. Now, generally speaking, when you have either the option of Star Elf plus 1-drop, and it's on a clear board, I usually like going for 1-drop, especially versus a deck like, say, Dragon, who Brambles wouldn't really be as good versus early. Simply because, like, if it's a situation like this, like, he's clearly not playing he's clearly not playing creatures at any point in time. So I might as well just go ahead and get out more creatures over time. So this way I can play around Blazing Breath and things like that. Now this does play into Force of Newt. However, I would not Force Newt this board, but he does. I'm like, okay, sure. So I go ahead and I just play up my Star Elf, and I play up my Fairy, and just, I ask the same question again. Now, one thing I kind of could have done here is I could have evolved the Star Elf, but I didn't. Well, either the Star Elf or the Water Fairy, but I didn't expect him to have a second Force of Newt, but he does. I'm like, oh, huh. That's bad. Because right now I'm actually physically dead. Because he's at, all right, so really quick, he's at 6 Limworm activations, right? Because he played like 4 spells, and then he played 4 spells earlier, then he just played 2 spells now, right? Limworm, we all know that Limworm does 10. He has 2 Evo points. He also has 2 Maelstrom Dragons in his hand. So if he's allowed to evolve these Maelstrom Dragons and go face, as well as ramp up in the process, and still be able to AoE my board down, I'm actually going to die. So I do need to hurry up and get going a lot faster, but I can't because he denied me a lot of momentum. Like, simply because with this deck, if you get denied momentum, like that, you just kind of boned. You don't really have anything going for you, right? Anyway, so here I just gonna play the 2 Water Fairies. I really like Rain, because Rain plus Brambles lets you beat any big unit that your opponent can play at any point in time. So I really like doing that when I can, which one I'm just holding off on the Rain. There's something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, got it. Okay, so the other big thing is that, like, as I said, for like the whole momentum thing, like this is actually where Period shines over, say, Axemen, because in a situation like that, right, where you just like forcing into my board, I could have just slammed down Imperium and just be like, haha, well, what you got, man? What you got? But you can't really do that with Axemen. Although conversely, like I said, in games where you get stonewalled, early by like silly things, Axemen is going to be better. So here he plays up the young Feline. I'm like, oh, okay, well, goodbye my board again. Yeah, so he makes trades here. I'm like, okay, sure. And then plays another Somniferous. I'm like, okay, sure. He then plays up the Maelstrom Dragon. So I didn't actually like him playing out the Maelstrom Dragon like this, because I have Brambles in play, so like that doesn't do anything. Anyway, so here my patience pays off. I'm allowed to play Rain. I go ahead and play the Insect Lord. I then go ahead and play the other copy of Brambles. The reason why I'm playing out the Brambles as opposed to the Rain is because, like, I really, truly, and utterly value my Leaf Mans, because like the Leaf Mans are gonna be what carry me through this game at some point, and I've already kind of like set the script for that, right? Anyway, so I go ahead and make the trades here. The other reason why I'm playing up the second copy of Brambles is because, like, I don't know if he is or is not playing Sybil, because, like, even though, yes, I just said, even though I've said multiple times that he could, in fact, just be, like, fast Limworm, there are still people who hold to the belief of Sybil's good enough, they should play it in everything, and if you don't play it in everything, you're a hypocrite, or it's not a hypocrite, you're a heretic, I'm sorry, you're a heretic, and you don't know what you're talking about, so I have to be careful for that. But here he plays Conflict, I'm like, wow, okay, sure. But this is fine, he's given me an opening, he's given me the opening to go ahead and get aggressive. So I'll go ahead and I would have played Axemen here, right? But instead I realized that I need the board, I need initial damage. So I'll actually go ahead and play a Fairy for Leaf Man. I do this because it plays around AoE. Now he needs to have Zernitra here in order to clear my board. Otherwise he can only clear 2, maybe 3, and it stops. But he's just still playing out spells. Because I know he's playing Conflict, he's probably not playing Scyther. Because again, like I said, there are actually some versions of Limworm that do not play Scyther. Instead, my opponent just opens up with 3 Dragons. I'm like, okay. And then again, like I said, in true fashion, he actually plays up the Feline spell. Now we already know that he didn't need it for to activate his Limworm, because like, he's already at 10. He's already 100% at 10 spells. But he just kind of did it because, again, people don't know what Leaf Man does for whatever reason. Anyway, so he plays that out, and I'm like, sure. So to be honest with you, he actually should have evolved that. Not evolving that is silly, but that's fine. Anyway, so here, I'll go ahead and make the trade. Now, I actually fucked up here. The correct play was actually for me to go face to the Leaf Man, then airbound it, to then airbound it, to then replay it, to then play Elf Song. Because that gets me a lot of damage and also gets my board protected. But I kind of just like choked when I did it, and then realized shortly after it died that, oh wait, I didn't plan this out correctly. So now I have to go ahead and do something different. And what I'll go ahead and do instead is I'll go ahead and make the trade to then play up go ahead and play up my Leaf Man, and then I'll go ahead and actually evolve my Leaf Man. Now, to be honest with you, you don't have to evolve the Leaf Man per se. You can evolve like a 2/1 or something like that, but I'm choosing to evolve the Leaf Man. Partially because I kind of want him to kill it, and two, because I also want at least one of them to live, because I more or less expect him to kill one of these, but not two of these. So here he draws 3 cards and then heals for 6. So literally most of the damage I did last turn literally did not happen essentially. But here he plays that Roy. I'm like, okay, sure, Roy's a boy. Into a second Roy. Again, these are fine because he's giving me conduits. He's giving me creatures that I can go ahead and airbound and just like loop the board, and just like loop the AOE protection here. So that's good for me. So here he makes the trade. I'm like, sure. All right, so this is good. We're in a great spot. Why are we in a great spot? Because I can ignore this board one time. I can ignore it one time. Go face. He cannot kill me because I'm 1 away from being dead to Limworm. So this is good. This is really good. He should have evolved to go face. Anyway, so here I go ahead and make the airbound play. Again, not going to mess it up this time. Then again, play the Leaf Man here. To then play the Elf Song. To then play the Fairy. To then go face for 7. To then evolve to protect my board. Because right now, the only unit that can die on my board is actually this 1/3 fairy that did not catch the Leaf Man protection. And of course he just concedes because he can't do anything. Like he can't play the version of Limworm that heals because it doesn't heal for nearly enough to keep you alive. And then he can't and then like all of his AoEs are turned off, right? And I'm also not in range to die. So yeah, little things like that. They just get you on the board, just like let you do the things you need to do, and I just like then get you the win. But yeah, the deck is a ton of fun to play, especially for me because again, like most of you who watch my channel on a pretty daily basis or whatever, like you'll know that I don't particularly play aggressive decks. But if I'm telling you that this deck is fun, like you should already know that this deck is pretty fun. It's also pretty grindy, and there's a bit of a learning curve to it, especially getting used to the force mirrors, which I'll talk about in my next mirror, in my next video. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think about Aggro Force down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you.